Hello, first grade. Welcome to writing this week. So the first thing you're going to need to do is make sure that you have everything you're going to need for writing today. So I need you to make sure that you have your brainstorming sheet from last week. I have mine torn off just so that I can set it next to it. If you would like to tear yours out of your writing journal, you can, but I want to make sure that you keep it with your writing journal this week. And then you're also going to need a new page in your writing journal. And then you're going to need something to write with. I would really love if you would use a pencil to write. I'm going to write with a pen so that you can see it a little bit better though. So make sure that you have all of those things. And then we are going to get started. So today we are going to write the very first sentence of our story. And this is a really important sentence, first grade, because this sentence sets the stage for the whole rest of our story. And we're not going to use all of these parts today. We're only going to use 2 of them. So we're going to really focus today on the characters that you chose and the setting. Now, before we get started with characters, I want you to make sure that your characters are specific. Now, when I say specific, I mean I want your characters to have names. So instead of your character maybe being dog, well, what's the dog's name? Instead of your character being girl, well, what's the girl's name? So make sure that your characters have names, okay? Because that's going to be really important, especially in this first sentence. The next thing you need to make sure that you have is the setting. Where is your story taking place? And again, this needs to be a little bit more specific. Notice how mine just doesn't say the beach or beach. It says a sunny day at the beach. It tells you more about where my story is taking place and when it's taking place. It's a sunny day. So before we even get started, I want you to make sure that your characters and your setting are ready to go, because all we're going to have to do is take those 2 things that you've brainstormed already and put them into a sentence. Are you ready to see how super simple that is? All right, so when we start a story, it is very important that we remember that we have to indent, because we're going to write more than 1 sentence together. We're going to write a paragraph, which is 3 or more sentences together. So when we write a paragraph, it's very important that we indent, and we indent by putting up 2 fingers, not 1 like a single finger space, 2 fingers together. So I'm going to start, and I'll put my 2 fingers here, and I'll have to figure out, well, what am I going to write? The first thing I'm going to start with is my setting. My setting is a sunny day at the beach. So instead of saying a sunny day, I'm going to say one sunny day. So I'm going to write my capital O here, because remember, every sentence starts with a capital letter. And then I can take my fingers away because I know where to keep going. So one sunny day at the beach. Notice how I just copied exactly what I had, other than changing that first word to 1. So one sunny day at the beach, and now I'm going to take my characters and I'm going to tell you who's there. Mrs. Bleacher, and I ran out of room here on the end. So for my next word, and, because I'm going to write and the first grade students, I'm going to come down to the next line and I'm going to go all the way back over to the end. And the first grade students. And now I'm not quite done, because if I read this back to you, which I'm going to in just a second, notice how it doesn't seem finished. It's not a full sentence yet. So it says, one sunny day at the beach, Mrs. Bleacher and the first grade students. Well, what were they doing? We have to figure out what they did. So I'm going to say Mrs. Bleacher and the first grade students went for a walk. Make my letters taller. So there's my first sentence, first grade. I took my setting, one sunny day at the beach. I took my characters, Mrs. Bleacher and the first grade students. And then I told you what they did. Went for a walk. This is all you are doing today. This first sentence is so important. It sets everything up for your reader. This should allow them to picture exactly what is happening in your story. So remember, your story is not going to probably be about Mrs. Bleacher and first graders. Your story is not going to be on a sunny day at the beach because you made up your own ideas last week. So make sure that you're using your own ideas when you're writing your first sentence. If you need help, please reach out to your teacher. Please comment. We will be more than happy to help you. Also, feel free to take a picture each day of your writing. We'd love to see the progress and make sure you're on the right track. Okay? Tomorrow, we're going to tell more about what our characters are doing, and then we're going to introduce the problem of our story. So I will see you tomorrow for writing.